So cute. Welcome back, Smile Jammers. So the line between healthy and unhealthy relationships can be quickly crossed, and it may be difficult to identify. We don't know if
it might. It might. Love is blind.
Dumb, deaf, fool.
Yes.
Anyway, even with signs that might seem obvious to others. So what are the telltale signs of a toxic relationship? We're going to talk about that. I made a comment during the break that we don't really need to go through points because you usually know. But Harris is right. Some people are so shrouded in the heart wants what it wants that they can't tell that the heart is being broken into 1,000 pieces every day.
Yeah, so that's it. It's not broken. It's not like it falls and breaks. It's like a little piece chip off and a little piece chip off, and it chips and chips. And you're not realizing that it's chipping away until there's nothing left, you know?
And even when there's nothing left, some people still hold on in the hope that they can still eke out a little thing, but really and truly, if it's rotten, you just have to dash it away.
All right.
Not your heart, the relationship, so that your heart can regenerate and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Insider.com has a few points. The first one, here are the signs. There's a lack of trust. I mean, how many of you can really say, I trust the person that I'm in a relationship with, and trust that you can just be absolutely vulnerable, you can share anything, you can just open your heart and say, oh, this is a great relationship, and I don't have to worry about nothing, I don't have to second guess. And if the relationship is like a pep exam, like every night you lie in your bed and you try Pythagoras theorem, toxic. I'd pretty much say it's toxic. Lack of trust.
Because the paradigm is, as you talk about math, right? It's really a little bit of addition and a little bit of subtraction, right? So here, I'm giving this treasured thing to you. Can you keep it and ensure that while you have it, you treat it well, and then you give me back something, and then the two of us, additionally, make something, right?
Correct.
So if you're trying to math out at night why every day something is...
Should I tell them
subtracting a piece of that.
Should I?
Yeah.
Or you did it and you say, no, maybe I shouldn't have.
And you bring up an important point. Trust is not about what you think the other person is doing. Trust is about being able to be vulnerable and lay yourself bare with that person and know that that person has your secrets, has your best interest at heart, and you can share openly and willingly and not have to worry that you're going to see it the next day on their dream. Hostile communication.
Oh yes.
Yelling, name calling, or other hurtful phrases, throwing and breaking things, using your body for physical intimidation or force. So some of them, that's overt forms of hostile communication, but there are also these that people don't pick up on. The silent treatment. Using you statements or blaming statements. Constantly interrupting.
I know what you have to say.
Or not even saying that, but you start talk and them jumping in because their point is more important. Listening to respond instead of listening to hear and understand your partner. Hostile communication can cause tension and create further distrust between partners. Rather, healthy relationships rely on open communication, cooling down before things get too heated, and respect.
Yep.
I think many of us think that the yelling and the name calling and the rest of it is the real disrespect and the real toxicity, but this second part, somebody who leaves you to contemplate, what could be going on? Did I do something? Why is so-and-so, why is she mad? Why is he mad? And theorizing, come back again with the maths, all sorts of different, scenarios and possibilities in your head. The silent treatment is a very cruel thing to do in a relationship.
And people will say, say some stay. If that's how them stay, make them stay by themselves. Because they'll do, and you'll say, you're doing this, and if it's uncomfortable for you, it might be okay for somebody else. If it's uncomfortable for you, the name calling, the silent, any hostility. Leave it, man.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
I mean, you read that people often say what they mean when they're angry. I find that sometimes people say what they really want to say by saying nothing at all. And if you realize that, you know, you're in a state because you want an explanation and you can't hear nothing, really and truly the silence speaks louder. More louder than anything that a person can actually say to you. So remember that.
Jamila has 7 things. You got to speed up. Controlling behavior. Your partner doesn't have the right to control your actions. So signs of controlling behavior: telling you what's right, needing to know everything you do and who you're with, trying to manage your money, secluding you from loved ones or always being present when you are with others,
Red flag.
acting like you don't know what you're talking about, and requiring access to your personal devices, such as phone or email accounts. I just want to point out that this is not a gendered thing. Women do this too. So men know watch girl talk. Look out for these things.
All of these things we're talking about is not a gender thing. Woman and man do it. Frequent lying. We're not going at that.
We can't forget you that?
No.
If them a tell lie, they need to lie alone.
Somewhere else. Yeah. Next one says, all take, no give. Hallelujah. If your relationship consistently revolves around what makes your partner happy and ignores your needs, it can be a sign of toxicity.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
Always being the first one to text, long gaps between sending a message and receiving a response, conversations that are choppy, finding yourself asking over and over for your partner to change their behavior. Any bells going off? Have a significantly unequal division of labor, responsibility, or contribution to the relationship. Or you want to do everything? If you want to do everything, are you one in the relationship? Okay. Get out.
You can be lonely by yourself, you know.
Get out.
You don't need help to be lonely.
Before me married and go hug up mango tree.
Me will live someone.
You feel drained.
All the time. Think about the last time you did something for yourself. Spent time, even virtually, with a loved one, or slept soundly. Usually self-care and prioritization are neglected when you're in a relationship like this. Time and mental energy in toxic relationships will often be spent on the other person, either directly or indirectly through the backlash of unremitting discord and strife. You're so taken up with the constant negativity of that relationship that you don't have time to invest in yourself or the people that you love, right? So this says try shifting some of that energy to take care of yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And see how your partner reacts.
Yes, ma'am. Well, so this is where me and them part company.
You're not a partner at that point.
Yes, if you're doing it just to see how they react, don't. Because if it's toxic enough, they don't care. They really don't care. They may say something and like you say, all right, watch me. I'm going to go out to my friend them because it's going to make him...
You can't do it out of spite. You have to
do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Because you're going to go out for spite him and then him not care and then you're going to feel bad so you go out. And the whole thing goes. You're making excuses for their behavior. Please do not be dragged into it. Ask yourself the question, how often do you find yourself in a position to have to defend your partner? Them shout at you, and people say, why is he shouting? And you say, no man, I just saw him staying.
But even defending your partner to yourself.
Well, sometimes them
because to other people is one thing, but you know, we make all these excuses for people.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when we know better.
Yeah.
So can it be fixed?
It says working with a couples therapist or coach helps to provide a neutral space to talk about issues and a skilled and non-judgmental partner. My challenge with that is if you go to that meeting with the therapist or whomever and your partner is willing to admit that, okay, there's an issue, let's work on it, great. Some people are nurtured into that behavior. And so if they're aware, they'll stop. But if you go to the therapist and the therapist said, this not working, it's not working. It not work.
Aye, sir.
It not work. It not work.
Free session for you there.
It
Germs
not
will send you
work.
the bill in the mail.
Yeah.
Yes, some hard truths to confront this morning for a lot of folks, but the truth of it is.
Let it go.
That's it for Girl Talk.
Let it go. Let it go.